What's going on, everybody? It's me, Erykah, and we are down here, girl. We are down here, girl. It's 8:08. Shout out to 808, 808, 888. We are down here, girl. We don't have nothing to talk about. Let's go see what's on the blog.
I sponsor the blog.
Let me tell you something. I did save a couple of things. Let me see if what I saved is still relevant in today's news cycle. Did we talk about Val Kilmer already? We talked about him on the other video. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know that you stopped by. All right. Erykah Badu mocks BBL culture at the Billboard Women in Music Awards. Is that what she did? Ooh, let's see. Mocked BBL culture. BBL Drizzy. BBL Drizzy. Sarah Bartman, born Sarjay Bartman, was the first Black woman publicly ridiculed for her natural body. She was put in cages for entertainment, violated, dehumanized until she died of syphilis. Her story is painful but must be remembered. Erykah's message is deeper than what some may think. It's art, history, and truth. We are what we fear. All right. So it wasn't about mocking BBL culture. I don't know. Did she say what it was? Did she come out and say what it was? The jacket is nice that she had on with the outfit. I don't know. Did she? Let me go to Erykah's page. Shout out to Erykah Badu. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Best thing a woman can have is her shit together. Author unknown, but was likely a woman. The fertility goddess. Education is a must. Thanks for sharing. Tribute to Sarah Bartman. It actually does look like the statue Venus of Wildendorf. It does kind of look like that as well, the body. Venus of Wildendorf, a Venus figurine estimated to have been made 30,000 years ago. It was discovered on August 7th, 1908 from an archaeological dig conducted by these people at the Paleolithic site near Wildendorf in a village in Lower Austria. The figurine was found by a workman named Johann Varan and is carved from Olithic limestone that is not local to the area and tinted with red ochre. It is in the Natural History Museum in Vienna, Austria as of 2003. It's dated back to 33,000 to 20,000 years ago. The figure itself is estimated to have been left in the ground around 30,000 years ago based on radiocarbon dates. The interpretation, it says similar sculptures first discovered in 19 and early 20th centuries are traditionally referred to in archaeology as Venus figurines due to the widely held belief that depictions of nude women with exaggerated sexual features represented early fertility deity, perhaps the mother of goddess. The reference to Venus is metaphorical since the figurines predate mythological figures of Venus by many thousands of years. Some scholars reject this terminology, instead referring to the statuette as woman of or woman from Wildendorf. Very little is known about the Venus origin, method of creation, and cultural significance. However, it is one of numerous Venus figurines surviving the Paleolithic Europe. The purpose of the carving is subject to much speculation. Like other similar sculptures, would probably never had feet and would not have had stood on its own. The thing is that the body of Wildendorf, woman of Wildendorf, is to show that women were revered. The female body, the female human were revered and worshiped. It was not always a male worshiping society. So we don't know if it was Sarah Bartman that she was emulating. I don't know what Erykah has said about it, but the interpretations are she was making fun of BBL culture. Then there is she was giving homage to Sarah Bartman, and then there's giving homage to um, Wildendorf, the woman of Wildendorf, which has been the ultimate figure of woman, the ultimate symbol of womanhood, fertility, a goddess figure, like a goddess figure. And for the statue to look like that just lets you know that it was revered. People don't typically make statues of what isn't like honored or revered. So it's to say we have not always been a male worshiping, male deity, male focused society. That's what that has always represented that for me. It's like this is the woman. Period. She was revered so much that we created statues, fertility goddesses to revere the woman. So that's what it means for me. So maybe that's what Erykah Badu was doing, but I guess we'll never know. So let's see what else is happening. Let's go to the Jasmine brand. It says 28 new post. Jay-Z is named in another lawsuit. I guess he's gonna sue these people. Not named in the lawsuit, but named as a witness, right? It says LeBron James and Jay-Z are denying shocking claims made by a new accuser of Diddy. In the legal filing, Joseph Manzaro claims that he was assaulted and humiliated at a party for King Combs' 17th birthday in 2015 in April. He alleges that he was drugged and taken to the Estefan Star Island mansion in Miami, where he claims to have encountered several celebrities, including LeBron James, Beyonce, and Jay-Z. Manzaro further claims he was stripped and subjected to degrading acts. However, the spokesman for LeBron tells TMZ this is demonstrably false, doesn't even merit a report or response. The basic internet search shows that what LeBron was doing all of April 2015. He was playing basketball for the Cleveland Cavaliers and never near Miami, because he's playing for the team 24/7, right? Jay-Z's attorney, Alex Spiro, told the outlet Mr. Carter wasn't in Florida at the time to witness this incident. He was engaged in easily findable public activities that prove that he was not at the event. This is more nonsense that erodes the trust in our justice system. The Estevans have also responded to the allegations with a rep for Gloria and Emilio Estevan stating Gloria and Emilio strongly denied the allegations made. The property in question was never a home where Gloria and Emilio resided, but rather a house they owned for family use. There were no parties thrown at the property between 2012 and 2019. We have all the necessary documentation to support these facts and will provide it in court. Although Manzaro's lawsuit doesn't name LeBron, Jay-Z, and Estefan as defendants, it's clear they want no parts. I guess, is Jay-Z going to do the same thing to this person to the law firm that took on this lawsuit? I wonder. TikTok star Miriam Yarimi charged with negligent homicide after car crash claims the lives of a mother and two daughters. Okay, so the other day there was another woman, a Black woman who is also an influencer, but I think she's an Instagram influencer, and she got into a fatal car accident, driving drunk, and it actually fatal, killed the car share driver. Isn't that ironic? When you probably should have been calling him to come get your drunk ass so you wouldn't be driving drunk. I don't understand why in this day and age that you are not calling right. I wish, girl, let me tell you something. I wish we had that back in the day. We had taxis and I was afraid to get in a damn taxi. I don't know. Taxis, I don't know. I was like, oh, I don't know. A taxi? Girl, I don't know why. I don't know why taxis always gave just, I don't know, just weird. Not like, especially in California. Like, I don't know. You have to have transportation. But driving drunk, girl, no. Oh shit, I didn't want that to do that. And now y'all killing people. See, that's what I'm saying. Like I said about Karen Huger, girl, you're lucky you didn't kill somebody. These TikTokers, And IG influencers driving drunk and killing people. TikTok Miriam Yarimi is scheduled to be arraigned today, April 2nd, after a fatal car crash in Brooklyn. She was speeding in her Audi A3 when she rear-ended a Toyota Camry before striking 3 pedestrians on the crosswalk. She was driving with a suspended license. She was extricated from her car and is being treated in a local hospital for a psychiatric evaluation. Natasha Sada, 34, and her daughters, 8-year-old Diana and 5-year-old Deborah, were killed. Her son, Philip, 4, is in critical condition. I can't pronounce her last name. Yarimi, 32, is charged with 3 counts of criminally negligent homicide, speeding, and reckless endangerment.
Well, the woman behind the wheel of a tragic crash that killed a mother and her 2 children in Brooklyn is going to face a judge later today.
Yeah, 32-year-old Miriam Yarimi faces several charges, including criminally negligent homicide and manslaughter. Sources tell us moments after the crash, she told first responders that she was possessed. Let's get to Eyewitness News reporter Phil Tate live for us in downtown Brooklyn ahead of today's arraignment. Phil.
Pedro, Charlene, good morning. In just hours, Miriam Yarimi will go before a judge, and that's as she's been charged with 3 counts of manslaughter as well as 3 counts of criminally negligent homicide. This Saturday crash had sent shockwaves through the city as it had unfortunately claimed the life of a mother and her 2 children Saturday as they tried to walk across the street on Quinton Road and Ocean Parkway. Surveillance video captured the family's final moments as they walked down the street returning home. Their bodies were laid to rest in Israel yesterday. Now, police say it was 32-year-old Miriam Yarimi behind the wheel of that out-of-control car that hit this family of 4 before smashing into an Uber car that had another family in it. Those in the Uber survived the horrific crash, but the scars from that tragic day still run deep.
I have back pain a lot.
What are your nightmares?
Like us getting in the car and getting in a car crash again. My little brother, they gave him a cast to wear. And my mom, she has depression a lot. And my little sister, her head was hurting a lot.
And police say the driver behind the wheel should have never been in fact there. She had racked up, they say, about 93 violations, as well as about $10,000 in unpaid tickets. And she was also driving with a suspended license. We are live in downtown Brooklyn this morning. I'm Phil Tate, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
This is really sad. It says, I will call it like it is. This was a horrific tragedy caused by someone who shouldn't have been on the road. A mother of 2 young children killed, another child fighting for his life. A family in a neighborhood devastated in an instant. NYP Commissioner Jessica Tisch said at the scene. The NYPD sends its condolences to the family and victims. May their memories be a blessing. Yeah, that's really sad. So she's like the second person. The other one I talked about her. I can't even remember. I think her name started with a B, I think. She was like an influencer. Some of y'all follow her. But she just got into a car accident. Well, she got into a car accident, killed somebody, and then I think she went home and she started posting again and stuff like that. It was a trip. So y'all got to stop driving drunk. It's just not worth it. Girl, Megan is still going after Milagro-grams. Keke Palmer recently revealed on Baby This Is Keke Palmer's podcast that she often tries to get her partners to break up with her first. Joining model Ricky Thompson, Palmer opened up about her approach to relationships. Do you prefer your partner to end things first, ladies?
Somehow back together again. I think I do kind of fall in love quick, and I'm also, tell me how you are in relationships. I try to get the other person to break up with me. A lot of times.
Really?
I do, because it's so hard.
No.
Because it's hard for me to say goodbye.
You
really? I'm like scared, and so I find myself being like, we're done, and they'll be like, we'll get into a conflict and we're somehow back together again.
How you do that, girl?
Because they don't want to leave me, and
Girl,
I want
I
you
get it.
to go.
They don't want to leave me.
And
But
I
it's a
want you
mess,
to
and they don't know how to hold
go.
space
Girl,
for
I
me.
know how to grow. Every guy I dated, I've broken up with.
Oh,
Yeah, girl.
period.
I've been broken up with, girl. But the thing is with me, here's my issue, girl.
Get
I
to
break
it.
out, but I love to spin the block.
Oh!
I'm nasty. I've had my ex like, Ricky, enough. I'm like, okay, sorry.
Baby, this is cute.
That was funny. That was, I want you to leave. Why am I doing this? I cannot find my lighter. Oh, here it is under my leg. I'm like, I knew I had it. Did you see me looking for it? Girl, I want you to leave. Why are you here? Get away from me. Go away from me with this and stay away. I think it's unhealthy to try to get somebody to break up with you. Just leave, girl. She has issues. I think she talks about it in her book, but she does have issues. But at least she could recognize that. But girl, if you don't want to be with somebody anymore, just be like, I don't know. I don't want to be with you anymore. This is not working out for me. This is not fun for me anymore. Her hair is pretty. Did she get the baby daddy to break up with her first? Because she clearly ran for the hills from that one. This is me, and it still hasn't worked after 8 years. This is how people get dumped. True Virgo. She's such a Virgo. I've done that one time before. Immature. Girl, I'm gonna make it, girl. Girl. I made girl. I remember when I realized when it was time, because okay, so in my research, when I realized I was in a relationship with someone who would probably be diagnosed with MPD, I knew that based on me being their supply, that until they found another supply, they weren't going to leave. Right. And this is why narcissists will stay as long as you let them. Right. So after watching and studying and researching, I was like, okay, because I read and heard that if you discard a narcissist before they discard you, they can become violent. They could start stalking you. Because they in their relationship with you, they're smarter than you. So if you figure it out before them and get rid of them, they get upset and then sometimes seek revenge or stalk and do all the stuff. So I was like, okay, I don't want that to happen. So I need to create an environment that isn't conducive to this person, right? And so I did. And that was the way that I got rid of the person that I was in a relationship with who, like I said, could have been diagnosed with MPD. I created a hostile environment, and I was like, okay, I need you to go away. And I know the only way I'm going to get you to go away is I create an environment that you don't like, so that you can be like, oh, I don't like it here, and I'm going to go find somewhere else. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I did. Yeah. So, but this was a dire. This was like a dire thing that needed to happen. It needed to happen. I needed that person to get away from me. I needed that person to be away from me. And I knew that they were not going to find a supply. They weren't. And I don't know. I created a hostile environment, and by the time I got home, they were gone. They were gone. And I was like, yes, yes. Yeah. So, and it's so funny because a long time I would not talk about that person. I would not talk about that person on my channel because I also know how narcissists are. They don't care if you're talking bad about them, if you're talking good about them, as long as you are talking about them, they love it. They love it. They get off on that. So I would not talk about that person a lot, but he's dead now. So I can talk about it. I'm not laughing at the transition. I'm laughing at now I can talk about it because of the person has transitioned. So, girl. So do y'all do that? Do y'all create a space when did you ever do that? Have them create an environment where they had to break up with you first? Girl, go away from me with this, Apollo. Oh my God. Soulja Boy trial jurors threatened to no longer show up after court was extended. It says jury, this is from Megan Cuniff on Twitter. Jury in Soulja Boy's trial is about to revolt, clerk tells judge. Clerk says he overheard jurors talking and they implied they would not be staying after tomorrow because they feel like they've been lied to. This after they were told the trial won't actually end tomorrow. Judge Epstein is asking the jurors if any of them think they can't come back after tomorrow. I need to know if we're going to have a jury or not. The jurors right now aren't nearly as cocky as they apparently were during the conversation the clerk overheard. What? Well, he's going to trial because he's been sued by his former personal assistant, accusing him of R and kidnapping. And let me tell you something. That's one of the reasons. That's the intimate partner violence thing is so crazy because the reason why it, like, I don't want to say it favors the perpetrator, because it's intimate and it's personal. So not that many people are a witness to it. So it's literally a he said, she said in a patriarchy. So what he said is always going to trump what she said. Always. Right? Because we are in a patriarchy. So when you are encouraged to be in close proximity, personal, intimate relationships with these men, and they harm you, and then you are intimidated or discouraged from coming forward because you know that people are not going to believe you, they're going to take his word for it. So that makes it harder for people to come through because the relationship was personal and people aren't always a witness to the alleged abuse. And then that man in a patriarchy can come to the front and say, she just wants some money out of me. You understand what I'm saying? That's what makes the intimate partner violence topic so sensitive, because it's like in every situation, right? Especially if you're having sex with the person, then it's like, oh, well, it was consensual. And it's like, I'm saying it wasn't consensual. They're saying it was. And because we may have had consensual sex before, do you understand what I'm saying? How it can muddy a lot of the waters and it into their advantage. That's why sue them niggas, sue them. If you are able to sue them, if you have proof, sue them. Because you can't really, it's really hard to say what laws were broken, right? Because of the fact that it's hard to prove that somebody did something to you, especially if it was consensual before. It makes it really hard. So that's why people don't go after them criminally. They go after them civilly. I think more women should go after men civilly. I really do. And too bad there's not, like, I know, like, there's the Gloria Allreds who do, like, I'll represent you, and if we win, you have to pay me, and da da da, But I really feel like there should be more of that. Encourage women to, if you have been abused in your relationship, to document that. Now, you may not be able to criminally charge a person, but you can actually get rewarded damages for what you went through, right? Remember Mariah Carey? It wasn't a domestic violence situation. She just billed the guy for her time. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you guys have to pay for what you're doing to these women, wasting their time, hitting on them, abusing them, R-ing them, kidnapping, whatever thing that you're doing to these women. Because we can't always get you criminally, because there's an intimate personal relationship there, we're going to get you civilly. And that's just it. Whether you think it's a money grab, I don't have any way. How else can I be restored for what you did to me? What can you do? What can you give me to restore me, to bring me back? You need to give me some money. That's how I can restore. That's it, period. And that's why the intimate partner violence, you're the person's personal assistant. They can say, oh, you just want some money off of me, or it was consensual. And then that's where things get all messed up. All right. I don't think there's much else to talk about here. Hold on. Let's see. Let me go to it's on site because they always have the crazy stories on there. Then I tell you, man advises people from broken homes to hear their father's side before writing him off. Go hear his side and decide from there. The fact that you have to go hear his side and he wasn't by your side this entire time, or trying and fighting to be by your side the entire time, tells you what you need to know. Stupid.
I advise you, bro, go hear your dad's side of the story. I'm not saying he couldn't be fucked up. I'm not saying he couldn't have left you for no reason. I'm not saying that he couldn't have been a bad person. He couldn't have made a mistake, none of that. But I advise you just go hear his side of the story and decide from there. Because I ain't gonna lie, I hear this happen so often. And like, it kind of fucked me up every time I'm hearing it because it's like, it's fucked up. But it'll be a dude, he want to be in his kid's life. Like, he want to be an active father. You got a baby mom for whatever reason. Maybe she petty about the new girl, trying to teach him a lesson, trying to use it as an opportunity to get more money. Or she could just be a bad person and she kind of used the kid as leverage against the dude, trying to control him. And he got to say and do everything she want, or she going to take the kid away from him. And I get what y'all saying. Go to court, go to court, go to court. Go look at the percentages on that. And a lot of dudes, it's not even that they don't want to pay child support. They just don't want to give her the money. They don't mind spending a bag on their kids. They just don't want to give you the money. All I'm saying, it's a lot of dudes out there. If you was to go sit down, and I'm talking about have a good conversation with your pops, bro, you wouldn't even be mad at bro no more.
I always think, like, where did he get this? Where did he learn this from? Where did he learn these tropes from? You understand what I'm saying? All the things that he mentioned are the pre-programmed responses that are put into men who simply put no effort into having relationships with their children. Okay. And there are men that cut off relationships with the children when they no longer have access with the mother. Not that the mother is keeping the baby away from them. Now, there are some, yes, there's always some. There's always going to be some that hold true to the statements that he made. But go hear his side of the story. Why haven't you heard his side of the story this whole time? Why hasn't he been trying to fight to get you? Let me tell you something about a family court. From what I understand is they love to see fathers coming in fighting for their children. They encourage to go fight to see your children. If this woman is doing everything you're claiming that she's doing, whether she's bitter because you got another woman, whether she wants some more money, whether she just used the baby to have some more money. If you want to go see your children, the courts will work with you. They love to see fathers because a quarter of the children in this country, in the United States, grow up without a father in the home. And for whatever reason, so we're not going to make it the mother's fault that the father isn't in the home. He may not be right to be in the home. He may not fall in line with what needs to happen in the home. So he doesn't necessarily need to be in the home. Just because you're not in the home doesn't mean it absolves you from maintaining and putting forth the effort to be in relationship with your children. And if somebody is keeping you from doing that, you go to court, period. And you prove that when you're going to hear his side, you should be aware that this man has been fighting for me. It was somebody I was listening to, Funky Daniva. I was listening to Funky Daniva, and he said, if I had a child and somebody was trying to keep me from seeing my child, you would know that I was trying to work hard to be in your proximity. I would be up at the school. I would be here and there trying to see my child. You would know my dad acts a fool every time I see my dad. He's acting a fool, but it was because he was trying to see me. I knew that he was trying to see me. Do you understand what I'm saying? A lot of times these people are not putting in any effort. And then, when all else fails, blame a woman. You understand what I'm saying? So yes, there are cases where women are doing things in spite of, to spite. But if that's happening, you can always get somebody to work on your behalf to work her out of her spite, being spiteful towards you and not allowing you to see the child. If you cared enough, you would put the effort into that. I'm going to read a couple of the comments. For understanding purposes, if in fact those are the circumstances giving, why y'all fathers never go to court for 50-50 custody? Regardless of the story, if he didn't go to court for you, he didn't want you. We know his side. We were there. And these mothers will drag the father because he didn't want to be with her unhealthy self anymore. My mama never did it, but I'm sure plenty of y'all mamas did. And it's crazy is it's not even your experience, but you are using it and speaking against it. It's not even your experience, and you don't see this often. And then another thing is, like I said the other day, if a mother is keeping somebody from the child, if the father from the child, we need to know why. Is he not a good person? Would he be more of a detriment than a benefit to the child if he was in the child's life? A lot of y'all find out, right? Your mother kept you. You didn't have a lot of contact with your father growing up, but then when you got to a certain age, you started to hang out with him, right? You started to be around him, and then you were like, oh, this is why I wasn't around when I was younger. This is the reason why my mom wasn't encouraging me to be around. Because now I see this, I'm not looking at him as like, oh, daddy, 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 right? I'm looking at him like, nigga, you are whack. Sometimes they have to see for themselves. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to say nothing. And they see the lack of effort. They will see and they will understand. Nobody's keeping nobody from anybody. And sometimes they need to be kept. Nobody ever talks about that part of the thing. Nobody ever talks about the part where, you know what? Actually, he would be a detriment to be in your life. Actually, she's saving you from having a bad experience that every other person who comes in contact with him has. I'm a woman, and I heard my dad's story at 12. It was really curtains for my mom after that, and she knew it. Though my dad was trash also, the manipulation and lies she put on him, I knew she wasn't to be trusted either. And maybe because she didn't tell the truth about it, and you thought that was manipulation and lies, because maybe she was lying to you and telling you that your dad was a great person. And then you actually got to experience him, and he's not. You know, those mothers who love to say, I never say anything bad. I never say anything bad. Ask me, when my kid asked me about why don't you like my dad, I'm going to tell you why I don't like your dad, so that you can understand, so that you don't think that there's some irrational feeling happening. I don't like your dad because he punched me in the face. Simple as that. I don't like people who put their hands on me in a violent way. Simple as that. I don't like for people to be aggressive towards me or to verbally abuse me. So I don't like it. So that's what he did. And so that's why I don't like his ass. Do you understand? Oh, okay. You understand. Why don't you have respect for my dad? Oh, because he did this, blah, 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 blah. Tell him the truth. Tell him the truth. What does Kendra say? And I won't tell the truth about you? Girl. Heard his side, saw court documents of him attempting to smother my mother while I was in her belly. That's why I didn't see him when I came into this world, because he tried to kill my mom when she was pregnant. This is basically what this woman just said. So that's why she kept him from me, because he tried to kill her. Okay. Says, y'all too comfortable disrespecting your mothers, and it's insane. A parent that genuinely cares about your life, safety, and actually loves you will be there by any means necessary. Y'all are too old to be pretending that you don't understand that. What side? If your mother was so terrible, why did he leave you with her? Period, girl. If your mother was such an awful person, why did your father leave you with her? Hello.
Hey, boo.
We can't.
Period. Period. And what do you have to say about that? You can't say anything. You can't say anything. Really. Glad I never had to go through this. My parents are divorced, but they are definitely still cool. I can't hear his side, sweetie, because he continues to make the same broken promises of I'm going to show up that he did when I was a child. Yes, please go look for your dads. Do it as early as possible. Ask him if you can live with him as well. That would be incredible. Right. Can I come live with you? Man, listen, all I'm going to say is I heard my dad's story and my relationship with my mom ain't been the same since. Imagine growing up in poverty and but your dad and his side of the family are rich as fuck. Glad I found him when I was in high school. Why didn't he take her to court? Why was court not involved? He could have gotten full custody. Why didn't he attempt to do so? Why didn't he go to court for you? She had no contact. It wasn't no cell phones and social media in the 90s. Girl, that's your excuse where you can just easily find someone. So she picked up and moved to a different state. She picked up and moved to a different state. No cell phones and social medias in the 80s. You found him in high school, though, as a teenager. He could have found you. Did your dad ever pay child support to ensure that you had a better life? Girl, they wearing you out. His mother was obviously trying to make sure he wasn't found. It probably wasn't easy to find him. The fact that you believe that there wasn't phones in the 80s tells me everything. Your father manipulated you and you most likely ain't want and then most likely ain't want you. So your mother did what she had to do. He didn't know your social security number. All he needed was your first and last name, date of birth, social security number. He would have found you and your mom. All the dad needed was his son's first and last name, social security number, and date of birth, and they would have filed paperwork where she was and got custody of him. You grew up in poverty with your dad and his family did nothing. His side of the story must have been fantastically written and Oscar worthy. All you need is names though, like literally if his daddy was so rich, a private investigator would have had figured out so fast. It's okay to accept that dads didn't want to step up until the kids were old enough to basically care for themselves. Give moms more grace for sticking around. That's crazy. That's the other part of it, is that now that the person is like semi-independent, now you want to be in their life. Like you really don't have to do the parenting and the caring. You can come in like, hey, I'm here now. I don't have to change any diapers. I don't have to blow any noses. I don't have to clean up any messes. So sorry that your mom moved you away from your dad. Hope you and your dad have a relationship. So that's what I was talking about the other day. All right, y'all, let's see what else is happening.
Big mistake for a woman to even ask a man. Agreed. Because and they're gonna do it regardless. But I think that when a man feels away, his actions are going to show. You're not even gonna have to ask him. And text good morning every day and good night, baby, are not it. It's not it. That's not it, because I'm gonna tell you that I know for a fact that they will text multiple women the same messages. Yeah, look, you're not special. Men think about sex so many times throughout the day. Every time he messages you is because the thought of sex is passing his mind. It's not because you're special. You need actions. Ouch. You need actions to show you what he's feeling. And then you need consistency with those actions. Women, you have to stop having sex with these men. And you have to stop believing them.
That's Ra Ali. She's sitting there with Rico and two other people. I don't know if they're going to have a podcast. The set is really cute, though. The set is really cute. It says, ladies, one of your biggest mistakes is sleeping with these men so casually and only accepting the bare minimum. On the contrary, podcast. It says, stop. Oh, hold on. It says, stop having expectations from men. Let men do what they do and see whether or not you want to move like that and move accordingly. I don't ever want to go back to being single again. If me and my girl got problems, I'd rather work on fixing those problems than to go back to the dating pool. So that is so true, but there's women who will allow this till they find out the hard way. I wish it happens for all of us. I wish happiness for all of us. And his actions don't have to be money. It could be simple, like a cute date, a nice picnic, a cute little gift, just something. Stop sleeping with men because you guys consistently talk. They talk to everybody. I don't know about the stop fucking part. I need my coins. I'm sorry. I need a man. I'm a damsel in distress. Help me. I'm not an independent woman. So he can text whoever he wants as long as he runs me that money.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow. Words are spoken today. Got to stop believing them. We are doomed if this is all social media speaks on. Take her word for it. She's definitely been pumped and dumped a few times before, so she knows what she's talking about. I've never been moved or impressed by words or text, but there's definitely a community of dudes running around that think because they what you doing beautiful 3 or 4 times a day, YWD 3 or 4 times a day, doing something. Meanwhile, it's annoying the fuck out of me. A man with no plans and actions is just a pain in the ass. Ugh. WYD, the WYD niggas. Anyways, I gotta go. I don't give a shit about that kind of shit, girl. If you accepting that kind of shit, girl, I don't know what to tell you, girl. We way past that. We way past that. I gotta click. My nose is itching. I don't know. Something flew in there. Oh, but my nose is itching. Anyways, girl, I gotta go. I don't know what we talked about, girl. Take care of each other. Protect your energy, girl. Let's get down in the comments, girl. Peace, girl.